come in. Unless you're the Galactic Empress's Royal Guard, in which case I really don't want to.
Buenos dias, amigos. Miguel Humberto dos Passos Francesca at your service.
Oh, hello, Miguel. Well, it's nice to see a friendly face.
I am sorry, senor, to disturb your siesta, but I came to warn you. It is nearly time, senor.
Time? Oh, time for another randomizer, is it? Yes, well, you'd think Jamie and Richard could learn to do without me, just for 1 week.
Huh, forget it, amigo.
Yes, I suppose the podcast would rather fall apart without me. I mean, those two, they do try, don't they? But, well, you know.
But then they get a lot of practice.
True. Can't knock them for trying. Tell me, did they offer me any kind of incentive to do it this week?
A sombrero full of dollars, senor.
Oh. Right, well, here's the randomizer. There's the button. You have at it.
Good fishing, amigo.
I take it from the praying that you're expecting the worst.
There could be trouble.
Well, there frequently is. Let's see. Oh, well, yes and no. Unfortunately, it's another dream episode today, which is, well, you know.
Life is a struggle.
Isn't it just? But it does come from a show we haven't seen on the randomizer for a very, very long time indeed. So that's something, right?
You are mad.
Oh, the Secret Service is mad.
I am mad.
Well, glad we got all that straightened out. Here's Errand of Mercy. So welcome back to the randomizer, the Secret Service. It has been a while since we've been here. I want to say it's probably been the best part of a year.
Unwin.
Because this is only the second episode of the Secret Service we've actually seen. After A Question of Miracles, we're now back at the old vicarage with Father Unwin, who's under Gabriel, giving it a bit of a tinker with.
I can't understand why you don't get yourself a modern car.
And I have a feeling this is the only teaser in the whole series to feature Father Unwin.
Now with Gabriel, one can experience motoring.
And this is a lovely part of the Unwin character, his
Power underfoot.
His love for this old car.
Noisy.
Exhilarating.
Hard to drive. Said so.
And what makes it even more enjoyable is the fact that Gabriel doesn't have any fancy gadgets or anything like that. All it has is this.
Every nut and bolt. Look at the workmanship. This car would...
It's a lovely model, and I'm surprised and also glad that they didn't load it with gadgets or anything. It just makes Unwin's attachment to it even more touching. Anyway, Unwin's not doing too well at the moment. He's a bit unsteady on his feet.
It's nothing. It'll pass. It'll pass.
Touch of the sun. It is. Oh, there he goes. And
They're
down.
Unwin. Matthew, come and help me. Father Unwin's collapsed.
Oh no. He's even dropped his glasses. Anyway, Father Unwin is all right now. He's gone to bed. Mrs. Appleby is taking good care of him.
You know what the doctor said. Put away that paper and get some rest.
I'm perfectly all right, Mrs. Appleby.
Oh, so Father Unwin reads the Times.
Oh, yes, I know. Now you take a couple of these pills. It'll help you sleep.
Tablets. Send them to Africa. That's where they're really needed.
Unless they're those tablets that Tessa Wyatt and her boyfriend had at the farmhouse, in which case I'm already way ahead of you, Mrs. Appleby.
Terrible.
That's it. Now, I'll turn out the light and leave the door open.
Oh.
Call out if you want anything. Good night, Father.
Considering she's a minor antagonist,
Mrs. Appleby, and thank you.
for the most part, at least she sort of frustrates occasionally Unwin and Matthew's attempts to do their Secret Service stuff. She does care for him. I just noticed we've got a close-up on that newspaper, which is now not the Times, it's the Universal News, which seems to be a reused newspaper prop from somewhere, but I can't think where at the moment. But Father Unwin's got a lot on his mind. The headline was about people suffering and dying in Africa. Plague in Central Africa.
Supplies urgently.
On urgently required medical supplies.
Anywhere.
And then, of course, it goes into the regular article about Slough Centre players or something. Anyway, we're now in Father Unwin's head, as if the world of the Secret Service couldn't get any more
It's on.
crazy.
After the briefing. Are you ready?
We're now in a military base. Father Unwin and Matthew are getting their orders.
Right, gentlemen. If you will look at the map, You'll see the first stage is non-stop to Timbuktu. Here, you will land and refuel. The petrol supply is in the desert 5 miles north of the town.
Yes, I have it on the flight map.
Good. Now stage 2. Due south to a jungle clearing. Here you will pick up the medical supplies.
I see. And from there to Bishopsville.
Yes, Dr. Pepple will be waiting. Now, men, this is the most dangerous...
And it is rather surprising that, considering there's only 13 episodes of the Secret Service, we have a dream episode produced as like the 6th or 7th.
Only supervise your takeoff. Right, men? On your way.
You wouldn't have thought they'd have run out of ideas so quickly, but I suspect they just want to do whatever weird thing takes their fancy.
E42 to control. Engine run-up complete.
As we're about to see quite conclusively, and which rather puts my thank goodness they didn't put any gadgets in Gabriel comment to shame. Here's Gabriel being lined up on the runway.
Everything all right, Matthew? Everything's fine. Good. Lifting off.
Ah, lovely sight. Beautiful.
Yep, Model T Ford cruising on down the runway and taking to the skies. What could be more natural? I apologise, by the way, if you're unfamiliar with the Secret Service and this is one of your first exposures to it. I can't, it's a dream episode. What can I say? You've probably seen a Super Mario Nation dream episode. This is up there with the weirdest. Anyway, Father Unwin and Matthew are off to, where were they going? Timbuktu, that was where they were going. A desert rendezvous in their flying Model T Ford.
The weather should get better. We'll soon be over the Alps.
Well, it certainly can't get worse.
And having not too long ago covered See You Down There, which, as I said, I loved. I know certain other people who are associated with this podcast weren't too keen. This is the kind of thing I was talking about, where the really surreal stuff starts to come in. And as with much of the Secret Service, I enjoy this, but I honestly don't know who they were aiming this at. I mean, I don't mean the series generally right now, I mean this specific episode. They were asking a lot.
Maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
Yeah, they were asking a lot of viewers who had already had to accept quite a few out of the norm things. Anyway, we're now in the Alps. The weather conditions are pretty bad. We're heading straight towards a mountain. Look out! That was close.
Well, Matthew?
Close, Father. Too close.
Trust in Providence. Trust in Providence. You'll soon be over the burning sands of the desert.
Oh, joy. I'm recording this on a very, very hot day, and I have to record with the windows closed so you don't hear any birds or such. So I am rather roasting right now. So it's a bit appropriate that we find ourselves in the desert. That's it. It's one little house in the middle of nowhere with English teas served daily, 4:30 p.m. printed on the roof. And 2 petrol pumps. I suppose it's a nice idea that we have an episode that focuses on Unwin's love for his car.
Round the back.
Since it is a fairly major part of his character, but even so, this... I'm sure there were other ways of realising that kind of story, if that was the plan, than a dream episode. Anyway,
Effendi?
If you would.
here's Mrs. Appleby manning the petrol pump.
There we are. Full to the brim. Come on then. Let's go into the shack.
And of course, inside the shack, it's
Don't look much from the outside, but it's home.
Father Unwin's regular vicarage, office, library,
Utterly charming.
regular standing set that we've seen in all the other episodes.
That sand gets in everywhere.
Oh, right you are.
And I don't know why Matthew has the yokel accent
Are a pot of tea,
inside the dream.
3-minute boiled. Is that right, Effendi?
Other than it's Unwin's dream and he knows these people
Be
and
too long, Father. We have a schedule to keep up.
he knows this is how they would react. I mean, this is charming in a way.
Oi. What a nice gentleman. Didn't care for the navigator, though. Struck me as bone idle.
Yep, even in Father Unwin's dreams, Matthew can't get a break from Mrs. Appleby. yeah, I do wonder.
What a beautiful day.
You know, I like this. I like this series. I like this episode on the whole. I wouldn't dare show it to anybody, though. But I just think, you know, we could be having more in the vein of Thunderbirds and Captain Scarlet, and this is not really...
A rather pleasant spot, Matthew.
I don't know if this kind of story is worth spending the resources, all that money and production time to bring to the screen. But I, to be fair, I do feel that about a lot of Dream episodes. Anyway, Unwin and Dream Matthew have made it to a jungle clearing. But they're now being surrounded by natives. Who, as you can hear, are not too pleased to see them. Oh, and some flash cuts. Whoa. Yeah, I think that was to make the
But at all costs...
the handful of native puppets they had seem like a whole army. With spears and everything. And also, it's very rare you see a puppet's bare chest, but all these natives are bare-chested, and they have lots of sort of, let's say, adornments and such round their
I'm afraid the situation...
their joints to keep the joints from showing.
This is the right clearing. But the language is the problem.
And while I'm not going to say they're the most
Supplies.
sensitive of portrayals, they are quite nice, quite nicely designed puppets. I think these are all new puppets just for this one scene, which is very strange.
It's no good, Father. I think they're preparing for a sacrifice.
I'm also wondering why we don't see Lieutenant Green in amongst them, considering that he was still around for Joe 90.
It might just work.
Anyway, Unwin and Matthew are now tied up at the stake. They're about to be
Very travel safari long load here for the medical...
cooked, but Father Unwin has a plan. Is he getting through to them? I think he is.
Supplies. Medicold?
Exactly. Let me explain. We have in the medicold for the hypodermy...
Hypodermy?
And the stethoscopers.
Stethoscope?
I love this.
Bandage.
Oint mold.
Oink mold.
All this deep...
This is such a good way to use the Unwinese.
Medicold surplus. Stethoscope. Bandage circles. Medicold. Bandage.
I know it's wrong. I shouldn't find this funny, but I do.
On behalf of Matthew and myself, from the bottom of my heart...
It's lovely to have a scene as well where Unwin actually
Italian stuffy with the knife and fork.
meets someone who not only understands him, but actually engages with him on the same level.
Slight misunderstand, of course. We will carry out our mission. Next stop, Bishopsville.
Which again might be a sort of subconscious desire of his that he just wishes he could communicate with someone on that level. I don't know. Farewelly most. Oh, it's so sweet. So that's it. We've got the medical surplus. Oh, and there's a shot of the sun coming up here.
Matthew, sunrise over Africa.
Which, if you look at the script, as I have done, it has a very odd description, which
Going to be another scorcher.
isn't quite realised on screen as it was written in the script. In the script, it had, I think it said something like, a round shape is lifted up over the jungle with the word sun written on it, and suddenly the world is full of light.
Jungle drums, Father.
I can't describe it any more than that, but I wish they had used that in the episode, because that would have been, even for this show, that would have been surreal in the extreme. I'll recognise those drums from somewhere as well. Oh! An enemy airbase with fighter jets. Okay, we're back on course with some fighter jets. Ah, and a gun firing at them, which I think might be a leftover gun from, I want to say from the Eastern Alliance base in Joe 90 Attack of the Tiger.
Hold tight, Matthew.
Taking shots at Gabriel.
Keep going, Father. We're nearly out of range.
This base has given them everything they've got, but I'm not keen on these shots of Unwin, Matthew and Gabriel with the explosions going off on a projection screen behind them. Oh, this is quite funny though. The guns are accidentally hitting their own installations.
Ceasefire.
Oh, poor old General. His office has been blown up.
We made it! Just so, Matthew. But there's a long way to go. I'm sure they will try everything they can to stop us.
Whoever they are. Oh, yep, here we go. Fighters being scrambled. Which just makes the flying Model T Ford look so more daft by comparison. Because you know the Century 21 model team could do jets and such in their sleep, but...
Control.
A Model T Ford, even for a dream, doesn't look right flying.
Bandits, sir, but...
You sound frightened. What's wrong?
Although it does lead to a magnificent joke here.
it's a Model T.
A Model T?
Yes, sir. 1917.
Gawkin Histelplukenplatz! I realize there are only 3 of you, but it must be stopped.
Okay, I take back anything negative I've said about this episode. It's worth it just for that. And again, it's just wonderful to see that Father Unwin has so much faith in his car
Prepare to attack.
that he really believes it could take down a squadron of fighter jets.
Right. I have visual contact,
And again, with no gadgets or anything added to it.
but we can outspeed and outmaneuver them. We'll be all right.
Commence attack. Fire at will.
But of course, with no weapons, how are they going to take down 3 fighter jets? It's a tricky one. Well, number 1 has had a go and missed. Here comes number 2. And 3 it looks like as well. How are they going to... Are they going to pull off a joint strike? But they're diving towards each other, which is all part of Father Unwin's trap.
I'm opening her right up.
Oh, that's it. And he got him to collide. He's a wily old bird, that Father Unwin.
1 to go.
Press home the attack. Press home the attack.
Here comes the last one, Father. Don't worry.
Also, I like that in a nice sort of dreamlike touch, all of the pilots are played by the same puppet.
He seems to be staying with us. I see. Hold on. I'll try and shake him off.
How's he going to do that? He's going to give a right turn.
This time I'll get them.
He's going to give a right turn signal and then turn left. How dastardly.
Of me to give an erroneous signal. However, in the circumstances...
And it is at least true to the character in real life how he would behave in this situation. Oh dear. Part of me would actually like to show this to someone who has no conception of or experience of the show at all, just to see what the hell they make of it. I mean, this was shown on television.
You'll never do it!
Not on very many televisions, but it was shown.
Look out!
It's amazing and so silly. Oh, that's it. He's dived towards the jungle, pulled out in time, but the other pilot, nah, he's had it. That's it, all the plane's gone.
Oh dear. I trust the pilot's not seriously injured.
Oh, no one's ever injured in the Secret Service yet. The pilot is hanging upside down out of a tree. And now we get probably the saddest scene in the entire Secret Service. This is tragic.
Come in, 1. Come in, 2. Come in, anybody.
Some old Four Feather Falls music.
Leader here, General.
What happened? Where are you?
In a tree, General. All jets destroyed.
All destroyed.
I feel so sorry for this guy.
A Model T 1917. What chance did we stand?
And the Four Feather Falls music really sells it because it's so sad.
Dr. Purple? Dr. Purple?
Anyway, we're now at Bishopsville, here to see Dr. Purple, who is, of course...
The Bishop!
Ah, I've done that before.
We brought the medical supplies you so urgently required.
My dear fellows, I must congratulate you. Can I get you anything?
All I need is about a week's sleep.
Yes, I must admit, I'm feeling a little drowsy myself.
Of course. Through here, gentlemen. Through here.
That's it. It's rather like the end of Mr. Ben, almost. He's being presented with a door to go through to end his adventure.
Remember what the doctor said. Rest. Lots of rest.
Reality is starting to sneak back in as Father Unwin
I can't.
spins towards the camera.
Noisy.
Exhilarating.
Do you know what?
Hard to drive.
It was all a dream.
Quite a twist, huh? Bet you didn't see that one coming.
Time to wake up, Father.
Matthew, yeah. What time is it?
It's 11:30. You slept for 14 hours.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be getting plenty of rest. Why are you waking him?
Fine.
Why are you using your yokel voice again?
Get Gabriel out of the garage.
If you feel up to it, Father.
Certainly I do. We'll go somewhere exciting. Exotic.
Ooh.
Hampstead Heath.
Oh well. Father Owen's up and about again, and he seems happy.
Today I would like you to give a little thought to those in far-off places who do not have the good things of life that we sometimes take for granted.
Oh, it was a very short sermon, delivered only to, I think, Captain Grey and one female extra. It's a very small congregation today. But I do like that the Secret Service episodes end mostly with those little sermons at the end. It's always a nice little uplifting way to end the episode. Anyway, that was the Secret Service with Errand of Mercy. You know, it's a dream episode. It's you can't take them that seriously, obviously, and I think I would probably trade most dream episodes for any other kind of like normal episode. But as a dream episode, that was fairly enjoyable, you know. And despite my reluctance to engage with it, I do find myself warming to moments, particularly the natives' reaction to the Unwinese and the fighter jet sequences, coupling in that moment where, oh no, a Model T, what chance did we stand? But also a fascinating look into the mind of Father Unwin. His the most important thing on his mind is his car and helping others. Which is, yeah, it's a nice insight into the character, I suppose. Not the greatest episode of the Secret Service, but I'm glad I saw it again, and I'm glad the Secret Service has finally made a long-awaited return to the Randomiser.